Hey there folks, and welcome to the first video of Chapter 35, Behavioral Adaptations to the Environment. So, as you may know, animal behavior is near and dear to my little geeky heart. It makes me endlessly happy. It is one of those things that I will go on about forever. And this whole chapter is all about it, so this is going to be fun. Hold on. So I've broken down this chapter into some shorter videos just so I don't go on, literally forever and bore you guys to tears. Behavior, generally speaking, is any kind of activity that occurs in response to something else. When we look at behavioral ecology, the something else is specifically something in that animal's environment. There's something some kind of stimulus that is causing a response that they're interacting with. Typically when we look at behavior and behavioral ecology, we're asking a lot of why and how questions. And these tend to fall into two basic types, proximate and ultimate. Proximate questions tend to deal with the very basic here and now. We're looking at what specifically the animal is doing and what is the stimulus that caused that behavior as a response. A stimulus in an animal's environment is something that they've been exposed to that is causing them to respond. It could be another animal. It could be something that's not alive, like a river in their way or the temperature. All of these things can cause behaviors and be treated as stimuli. Proximate causes to proximate questions tend to deal with also the immediate here and now. So why are all of these penguins huddled together? Because it's incredibly cold. They are sharing heat. Ultimate questions, which sounds incredibly impressive, right? Ultimate questions and ultimate answers tend to deal with the bigger picture. And in biology, at this point, ultimate questions in the bigger picture tends to deal with evolutionary causes and evolutionary reasons for certain behaviors. Some behaviors that we look at can be learned, and we'll get into those. Others are what we call innate. An innate behavior is a behavior that isn't learned. An animal is born knowing what this behavior is. They do it naturally, they do it instinctively. Some innate behaviors are things like fixed action patterns, FAPs. A fixed action pattern is a specific behavior that occurs in response to a stimulus, even if that stimulus isn't quite correct. They can't help it. They can't vary the pattern once the stimulus is there. Classic examples of this are geese or chickens trying to sit on rocks as though they were eggs because they look vaguely egg-shaped and they're about the right color. They'll still try and treat them as though they're eggs that might hatch. Another one is like this poor warbler here on the right. That is definitely not that warbler's chick. That's actually a chick from a parasitic species, and they lay their eggs in other birds' nests to get those birds to take care of their offspring. That chick is several times the size of the warbler that's taking care of it, but it looks like a chick. It's got a mouth that's wide open and hungry like a chick, so even though it's not that bird's chick, it's not even the same species, that bird parent is still going to try and feed the hungry offspring in its nest. And even though there are innate behaviors which are born in, it doesn't mean that all behaviors are just due to genetics, even if they're not learned. Many behaviors have, if not most behaviors, have both a genetic and an environmental component. A very well researched example of this is singing in songbirds and the influence that their habitat has on how loud they sing and how stressed out this makes their body. See, singing is innate. Birds that sing will sing. Some of them can learn songs, but some of them don't even have to learn songs. They're hatched out of the shell with that song hardwired into their brain. It's genetic. However, birds that have to live around humans also have to contend with our traffic noise, our cars and our machines, our engines, our planes, and this raises the general background level of noise that these birds are trying to sing against. They've got this background noise, and so they have to sing louder in order to be heard. Or instead of louder, some birds sing different songs that are at a frequency that it's easier for other birds to hear given the background noise. Some birds will even change what time of day they sing. This bird is a nightingale. It's famous for singing. But in modern behavioral studies, it's also well known for changing when it sings and also for putting its little feathery body through some pretty difficult stress, pushing itself to sing louder, and at times when normally it might not even be awake, when it's quieter at night, so it's easier to be heard. Alright folks, that's going to wrap it up for this first video. Don't worry, there are more. I love behavior. This is so much fun. I'll see you in the next one. Bye folks.